We are thirsting for God, but the enemy traps us and he takes us to other directions. Jesus is a human being. He's God and he's man. But he thirsts too. And what is he thirsting for? He says, I thirst at the foot of the cross. When he's there dying, there's something that's naturally occurring to him. We can just review in our mind what takes place in the Passion. Here is the Son of God. It's Holy Week, the first Holy Week. Jesus goes to the temple. He cleansed the temple in Jerusalem in John's Gospel. He comes in triumphant. Everyone's singing Holy, Holy. They want to make him king. But in a few days, everything twists and turns. This is how fickle we are. One day we want to worship the Lord and give him all praise and due, and a couple of days later, it's crucify him. How many times that happens in our own lives? You might go on a pilgrimage someplace, maybe a pilgrimage spot like Medjugorje or something like that, or go to Lourdes or Fatima or something, or come to this retreat. And maybe you got this retreat high afterwards. And then it could very well be a few days later, a week after that, you're at your husband, yapping over again, doing all sorts of things. Some people fall into mortal sin, just like that. And he's like, what type of person am I? I'm one that is always thirsting for more. And I have to be acclimated to the Lord, to thirst for him. What is Jesus thirsting for? He has a natural thirst within him because he's being crucified. And what is that? He was Holy Thursday night, he's in the Garden of Gethsemane and he's sweating blood and he's already physically breaking down in his humanity. These like capillaries of being, there's so much intensity and so much pain, they're bursting already. And the capillaries, the little blood veins under the surface of his skin, it's secreting, they're cracking and they're breaking. And then they get mixed with his sweat, and so he's literally sweating blood, as Luke the Divine Physician is telling us. He's making a correct physiological assessment of what's happening to Jesus' body in his mental anguish and his physical exhaustion. And already it's breaking down in his skin all through his body. And he's taken and he's mocked, he's made fun of, he's being slapped, he's spit upon, he's kicked, he's tied up with ropes, they're dragging him back and forth, they throw him in prison, and then they take him aside and they whip him. And that whipping is breaking more already. His human flesh is already weakened. It's already highly sensitive because of the breakdown 12 hours before in the Garden of Gethsemane. And then he's crowned with thorns. So what's happening in this whole process? He's losing blood. Little sweats of blood, drops of blood gushing off all over his body. And he's taken. He's dragged through the streets of Jerusalem, carrying the cross. More blood is being shed. He's being crucified, nails in his hands and his feet. And when he says, I thirst, it's really like a thirst, a physical thirst, because he's literally losing, he's being dehydrated throughout his whole body. He's losing blood and water everywhere. But beyond that, stating the obvious, he's thirsting for something deeper. The thirst that man has for God is equally met and far surpassed by the thirst that God has for man. Jesus says, I thirst. He's thirsting for souls. He's thirsting for me. He's thirsting for you. You just put your name after it. I thirst for Barbara. I thirst for Jack. I thirst for Sylvia. I thirst for Carol. We'd actually need to go through and introduce each other. We'll do that next time. He thirsts for us. Because at that moment, he's literally dying for us individually. And he sees into the future and into the past. All of mankind is present before him. This particular individual that he says, I'm doing this for you. I'm taking the bullet for you. I'm dying for you. I'm throwing you out of the way of an oncoming car or something. I'm saving your life. And he's thirsting for us. It's this great mystery of our redemption, that God is in some inert mass, this thing of energy that's impersonal, that's way out there, from all eternity, God has desired us, has desired intimacy with us. And yet, he gives us complete freedom to reject him